All right, besties. Hello. I'm Honeybee. Um, Hi. I'm still working on kind of what I want this channel to look like and what kind of content I want to make. I was a little inspired by a video back when I was in high school that I came across that was posted to like YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, all that. Of me recapping Romeo and Juliet like so quickly, so fast, and just like unhinged and poorly explained. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. So welcome to the corner of my couch. Today I am talking about Go Luck Yourself by Sara Raasch. This is the second book in the Royals and Romance series. The first book, of course, is The Nightmare Before Christmas. I did make a video about this one around Christmas time, and if all things go to plan, this video is coming out on St. Patrick's Day, because what better fits St. Patrick's Day than Go Luck Yourself? So for me, this was a 5 out of 5 read. It was really, really good. I had a really good time reading it. And if you liked The Nightmare Before Christmas, if you liked Red, White, and Royal Blue, this is definitely right up there with all that. So I have no notes. I didn't take any notes. I'm just going to spitball this recap and we'll hope for the best. Let me preface this by saying spoilers. Spoilers ahead. I will be recapping the entire book kind of loosely. There's obviously more details than every single thing that I can say, but it is a quick little recap. Will include spoilers of the ending and everything. I also want to say that I picked this up the day that it came out and read the whole thing that day. My poor husband, like we got home from the bookstore and like not even that long later, I was like, I finished it. And he was like, what? We just bought it. Like the lady at the bookstore was like, let me know how it is. I'm like, they might still be open. Should I go back and let her know how it was? And he's like, you're crazy. For me, this is a 5-star read. Also, like, I love the sprayed edges of these books. Like, they're very pretty. The red and the green look really nice together. I don't know if there's another book coming out in this series. There's not another Christmas Prince, but there are plenty of other characters who have been introduced that we could follow their stories. Just to give some backgrounds, that way I'm not like having to over explain. Our main characters in this one are Lachlan and Chris. Chris is Christopher of Christmas, and Lachlan, or Locke, is the Prince of St. Patrick's Day. So it opens on Chris. It's all in Chris's perspective, by the way. So Chris is at Cambridge getting his degree. And every single time he books a study room, someone's in it. Someone is in his study room and he is pissed. So finally he knocks on the door and is like, screw you. Why do you keep stealing my study room? I booked it. It's booked. Like, how come you aren't upholding the social standard of the Space Finder app? Like, it's a whole thing. It turns out Locke's in there. He doesn't know who Locke is at that point. He just thinks this is some obnoxious Irish guy with a heavy Irish accent. So Chris uses a little bit of Christmas magic and wraps him up in tinsel and like sends him on his way. And it's a whole thing. And it ends up getting on the news or the tabloids because he's the Prince of St. Patrick's Day. And now he's being like tangled up in tinsel at school. In like, it's before St. Patrick's Day, so probably like February. like whole vibe. He's like, I gotta apologize because he's like a prince or something. So, also they find out that someone from St. Patrick's Day is stealing Christmas's joy. So joy is kind of the magic system. The more joy your holiday has, the more holiday magic that you get. Sorry. So the more joy, the more holiday magic. And the Christmas brothers have had like all the magic because Christmas has all the joy. So St. Patrick's Day is stealing from them. They're like, we gotta investigate. But also Chris has to say sorry. So he's like, I'll be the ambassador. And everything's fine. But also his dad is stepping down as Santa. So now his older brother, Cole, or Nicholas from the first book, is becoming Santa. So now his brother Santa, he's like, I'm the younger brother. I can be the ambassador. I can go to all these other holidays and make nice and make friends and make nice and make friends. So he goes to St. Patrick's Day, and St. Patrick's Day is like, cool, you can spend a whole week with us amping up to St. Patrick's Day. So like it all, like the events come to a head on St. Patrick's Day. He's like, fabulous, I'll go. Chris cannot stand Locke. Cannot stand him. He's like, he's so mean. He's so annoying. I don't understand. He does this intentionally to piss me off. And Locke like busts his balls like constantly, all the time. He also has two little sisters that are also kind of busting on Chris because Chris made him look bad. And Locke was supposed to be the king of St. Patrick's Day, but he was very young when his dad passed away, when he would have taken that role. So he gave the role to his uncle, and his uncle's just being a whole nudge about it. So it's a whole thing. So there's a whole lot of talk about luck and luck magic because that's St. Patrick's Day's thing, all the luck. So Chris gets absolutely smashed like every single night he's there and is hungover the next day, every single time. But one night he like can't sleep, so he hears music playing. He's like, where's this music coming from? So he finds himself in Locke's art studio. So he's in the studio painting, and Chris walks in. He's like, what is happening here? Who is this woman that you're painting, or whatever. So Locke's painting. Chris comes in, and they have a moment, and Locke's like, this is the luck. The luck made my headphones break, so I had to play the music, and then you heard the music, and now you're here. And Chris is like, that sounds like the opposite of luck to me. And he, again, cannot stand this man. Chris cannot stand him. So there's a 5K that they're running. One of my favorite quotes is, I'm going to commit a murder at a 5K family fun run, because Chris is just like so fed up with him. So he's like, I'm just going to beat him at the 5K, and it's his own 5K, and that'll show him. Chris trips ass over head, tumbles, gets like all scraped up, scrapes his head, like thinks he might have a concussion. And Locke, like, he could have continued, like he could have left Chris with the doctors, but he sits with him and stays with him and takes care of him. And he also keeps giving him like hangover cures and water and food to make sure that he's not hungover after drinking so heavily every single night that he's there. And Chris is just like, I don't understand. Like, why? Maybe it's tainted. Maybe it's poisoned. He's trying to kill me. And Locke makes a comment like, that's how we Irish flirt. Like, we bust on each other. Like, we make fun of each other. Like, that is the highest tier of flirting. And Chris is like, fuck, all this time, he's busting on me because he likes me, and I'm busting on him back because I think he's obnoxious, but like he thinks I'm flirting with him. Am I flirting with him? So he has this whole like existential crisis. Another night they get super, super drunk, and they kiss, and it's, you know, the most magical kiss ever, but they're also smashed from drinking. Was it like whipped cream vodka, like some college student stuff? I think they're both in like a master's program, so like they're a little old. They're not like young college, they're like older college. Not that really makes a difference. They're still drinking some like whipped cream vodka. Yes, Chappie, can I help you? So Chris realizes he kind of spent his whole life doing what he thought other people wanted of him. His mom's like kind of emotionally abusive. There's that whole thing. And he kind of confides in Locke about these things. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe I just told him that. Oh my God, I can't believe I just told him that. And it's like a constant like struggle where it's like, I haven't told anyone that, but I told Locke and I hate him, but I told him. Why does he keep doing this to me? Chris finds out St. Patrick's Day has been stealing magic or joy, which converts to magic from Christmas. But he's like, well, Locke's uncle's a dick, so he's taking it because his uncle won't let him use any of the magic. And he's like empowering Locke to like reclaim his title as King of St. Patrick's Day because he's really running the show, and his uncle's just using the luck magic of St. Patrick's Day to make sound business ventures for his brewery, whatever it is. His uncle's basically like, luck's good for business. And Locke is like, but St. Patrick's Day is about more than that. And at the very least, we can like give back to the community. Like the family fun run was like a charity 5K. He hosts like events where like artists get to have like craft fairs and like display things. And Locke himself is an artist. That's like a really big, important thing to him. Chris and Locke fall in love. Chris doesn't want to confront Locke about the magic because he's like, I don't even care if he's stealing magic. I love him. They kind of resolve it, but Locke's uncle, again, dick, is like, oh, he's stealing the magic to pay back the magic he stole from me last year because he wasn't supposed to use magic to make St. Patrick's Day happen, and he's paying me back, so they're stealing from you because of me. And it makes Chris really upset because he's like, oh, you did all this, like you flirted with me, you wooed me to make me forget about like you stealing the magic. And Chris is like devastated. It's like, I'm God. And he like magics himself back to Christmas. And Locke like hadn't been using magic to teleport because it takes a lot of magic, and like he again didn't have access to any. So he go like magics himself to Christmas to like apologize, and Chris's older brother Cole is like, how dare you, like just all in. And it's very clear that Locke really, really likes Chris, but Chris is just like blind to it and just wallows in self-pity. But he eventually comes around and goes to Locke's official coronation days later, and like he shows up, and as soon as Locke sees him, he kisses him, and it's sweet. It's really sweet. I literally was crying at the end, because Locke at the very, very end. So like there's the coronation scene and all that, and then the next chapter is like the last chapter where Locke shows Chris a painting he made while he was gone. Basically, of the two of them, including like snippets of Chris's writing, because Chris is a little into writing, and he left like some notebooks in St. Patrick's Day when he left in a tizzy. So Locke used snippets of that, and also included like the very first thing that Chris said to him, which was like upholding the social contract of the Space Finder app or whatever, because he's like, everything out of your mouth is poetry, and Chris is like, oh my God, no, not that, anything but that. But it's really, really sweet, and like I was like actually crying. So yeah, it was really cute. It was really sweet. It was a good time. Highly recommend. I know I kind of zoomed through it, and there's a lot that I didn't talk about, but this book is really good. I had a really good time. I highly recommend it if you're looking for something fun, whimsical, I guess is a good word. A little bit chaotic, a lot of like cute banter. Thank you for joining me in this little discussion of Go Luck Yourself. If there are any other books that you want to hear me recap really quickly, or if you have any suggestions as to like how I could recap things, or do you want just reviews, any of those things. Again, I'm still trying to figure out like what exactly I want this channel to look like overall, but I want to continue to make booky content, and I'm not afraid to read some like wild stuff. Thank you for listening to me rant and recap this book, probably poorly. I definitely didn't do this book justice. Even if you haven't read it and decided to listen with the spoilers, I still think you should read it. It's a really, really good read. Lighthearted, happy, not too long, so it's like a pretty easy read. Again, I read it in a day. I picked it up and read it that same day. And it was really good. And I'd be happy to recommend this to anyone, or this series for that matter. So yeah, thank you for joining me on my couch, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.